Okay.
All right, everybody, welcome to our third pop-up training for the month of June. I cannot believe we're 3 weeks into the month of June already, crazy as it is. For those of you guys that are just joining us on our kind of like your first pop-up, because some of you guys are brand new consultants. I know Denise Engel's on here and literally just signed up like 36 hours ago. So we're excited to welcome any new consultants that are just joining us. On my organization and with Amanda's organization, we've been running a lot of pop-up trainings every week. Typically 30 to 45 minutes of training, variety of subjects, variety of trainers other than myself, because you get sick of hearing from me. So it's amazing to hear from other people and other leaders throughout the country that are rocking their business. So I have the pleasure of introducing one of my sweet friends from New York. That's Italian. So if you have trouble listening to her talk, you better like put your ear close to the computer. But she is one of the sweetest people in the world, takes the best pictures ever. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. So Laura Polito, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, everybody.
Go pick up his toy.
What?
Let me see who I need to mute. I think we're good. All right, just make sure to mute if you have any kind of background noise.
All right, so guys, thank you so much for inviting me to join your little pop-up training. Thank you so much, Becky, and my friend Amanda, too, for inviting me. I told Becky, I said, I have no idea what I could possibly train you people on because I feel like I have nothing new to offer, but she says, just speak from the heart and just talk about like booking into the summer. So I said, well, you know, this summer is going to be really different because, guys, I have been with Pampered Chef for 20 years. I am a cooking party consultant. Who else is a cooking party consultant? Becky, and the rest of you are virtual. Well, no, Amanda does cooking parties. And so I have been doing cooking parties for 20 years. Tara raised her hands too. And I've done, I don't even know, 2,500, 600, 700 cooking parties. You lose track after a while because nothing gets numbered anymore the way it used to be. And so I, sure, I've gotten through summers, but, I personally have always like slowed down a little bit in the summer because it's just the way it is. It's just, you just kind of just go with the flow. So this is going to be my first summer now that I am a virtual consultant. And a little bit about me, I live in Mahopac, New York. It's an hour away from Manhattan, which is why I play tour guide when people come and visit me. It's not far to get there at all. And I think I'm at like 1.7 something million, something like that. I just passed that. I've earned every single incentive trip for the past 20 years. I've never not earned a trip in 20 years. So like from day one, I didn't even know I was earning a trip. And then suddenly they're like, hey, you earned a trip. I'm like, oh, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't go into national conference for 5 years because my husband was afraid to fly. And so it took me 5 years to get there. And now I have not missed a conference since 2005. So are you all going virtually? Raise your hands. Are you all going to national conference? Yay. Okay. So there's no excuse not to go. We still have some seating left over in that holdover seating thing. So anyway, what happened was I've been doing shows for years, and yeah, I've done virtual parties. I've done versions of them. I go Facebook Live all the time. I'm definitely not afraid of the camera. I've done catalog shows, online shows. I have done versions of like outlines before, and you know what? It was just the cooking show was my thing. And these virtual parties, these online parties for years were just the cherries on top. They were never like my substantial income. But then in January, you guys all know who Claudia Bizarre is, right? She has slept at my house too. And so she was spending the 2 days at my house and we were talking at night. She's like, so you do virtual parties, right? And I'm like, meanwhile, guys, I can be her mother. And I wanted to like crawl under a rock. I'm like, no. She's like, what do you mean? She goes, you want to grow, you want to advance. I'm an advanced director, guys, and I've been for like the past 100 years. And she's like, you want to advance. The only way you can advance is if you do virtual parties. You have to, from now on, promise me you're going to do 4 a week. So what I did is I made a promise to Claudia Bizarre back in January that this was the beginning of January. I was going to start to do 4 parties a week. And I really just like, had no rhyme or reason. So what do when you make a promise to somebody you don't know what you're doing? You talk to your friends who do know what they're doing, okay? So I reached out to one of my friends and I said, listen, you got to teach me these virtual parties. I hadn't even started a business page yet, okay? Seriously. I don't even know how to make a label. Becky will tell you I'm the worst at technology, the absolute worst at technology.
Becky, can you make me a picture?
Please? I know. I have never got onto Canva since you taught me that tutorial. Yeah, that was like 4 months ago, whatever. Anyway, I relied on my friends and I was nice enough to be taught how to do Post My Party, which I did a couple of years ago. I was just like, whatever. I was paying for it more than I ever used it. I got a template and I started doing virtual parties because I was told that 4 parties every week, no matter what, 1 is going to drop, 1 is going to flop because the host is going to have friends that suck, and 2 are going to pop. Okay, so that's going to be the statistics no matter what. So you got to have those 4, so at least you got the 2 that pop. But meanwhile, these were still my cherries on top. You guys get it? Like the ice cream sundae, these were the sprinkles. These were still not real money to me because I was still doing my full cooking party calendar. And here I am doing an outline, somebody else's outline. I put my introduction in because that's what that box said to do. And I put my little story in because that's what that box said to do. But the rest of the outline, I let it run. And there was even some y'alls in there. And I don't say y'all. I never even changed this stuff up, And what happened?
You must have been using mine.
What?
For mine.
You must have been using mine. No,
I was using Christina Westinger's because she's one of my best friends at Pampered Chef, and I didn't replace all the y'alls. I'm a Bronx girl. It just doesn't go, okay? So what would happen was that I lost interest in these parties. I forgot about them. So like I was starting them, I was checking in, but I was just like, they were such a chore. I hated them. I absolutely hated virtual parties. And I'm like, how could people do this all the time? I want to stick a bullet to my brain. I said, I hate them. I said, I like people. I like going out. I like driving here and there. But whatever, I made a promise. And here's the thing. I made a promise. I'm going to do them no matter what. And I will keep collecting those little cherries on top. I'm like, whatever. Then what happened was that COVID happened and the world shut down. I did my last cooking party in the first week of March, and then that was it. And so I said, now I really got to get into these virtual parties. That's when I actually started reading the outlines that I've been using this whole time. And I'm saying, why am I posting that shit? That doesn't sound like me. And I was realizing why I hated these virtual parties, because they weren't my virtual parties. So if I can give you one important thing that you have to take away from this training is that if these parties do not reflect you, it's going to come shining through. You're going to hate them. You're not going to get the engagement. You're not going to want to pursue them. People would say to me, how do you get cooking parties all the time? I'm like, well, I guess I ask for them. You get what you ask for. So I was only asking for cooking parties. So that's what I was getting because I didn't want these virtual parties because they sucked. I hated them, right? Even though I was doing them January, February, the beginning of March. And I said, no, I have to change them up. So I started yanking out those pictures that weren't me. And I started putting in my own photography. I started putting in my own videos. And I was proud of it. Like no disrespect to marketing imagery. If you guys don't know how to take pictures, if you're just it's not your thing, use them. But in all honesty, when you look at a bunch of stock pictures that are perfect every time and the company puts out, they get a little boring. You got to put yourself into these parties. And so what happened though was in March, besides the world going crazy, I made a quintessential error and I got myself thrown in Facebook business page jail. And it completely shut me down. Facebook started freaking out, thinking I was a robot, completely shut me out. I had like 10 parties that I had to do. And I'm on the phone with home office because they're helping me because now all of a sudden Laura Polito's doing virtual parties. We got to help her because she's not going to stick around with this. And so what I did, let me tell you what I did is I had to shut it all down. I actually had to start running parties through my personal profile, which we're told not to do because the other one was not working. And I couldn't use Post My Party anymore or Cinch Share. I was using Post My Party. So I had to make up my own outlines and I had to use Facebook Scheduler. So starting with the first post down to the last one, I would schedule my template. And then I just didn't even look into marketing imagery. I looked in my phone, which holds like about 50,000 pictures, and I pulled all my videos, all my pictures, and I made an outline. And now all of a sudden, I'm going to share some stats with you. So I been doing January parties virtually since January. But I didn't write down the stats for January because March is when the world shut down and when it changed. So in March of
take a deep
last year,
breath, Laura. Take a deep
what?
breath. I want them to prepare for these numbers. Like first, y'all take a deep breath. I'm serious.
Oh no, stop it.
Yeah.
Amanda blows me away with those numbers. Stop
Whatever.
it.
Anyway.
Whatever.
Carry on.
Anyway, so 2019, my March sales were 7,900. 2020, my March sales were 11,800. And that's because I added this virtual component. April of 2019, my show sales were 8,900. My sales for 2020 were 27,300. My May of 2019 was 7,400. My 2020 May was $36,800.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, right? Okay. And I don't even know how to make a computer label. My June of 2019 was 10,500. And as of right now, I just looked at my numbers. I'm at $20,563. All because I'm doing things a little bit differently. And I'm, believe it or not, liking my parties. Why am I liking my parties? Because they're my parties. And so if you're brand new and you don't even know what the heck I'm even talking about, you have to borrow someone's parties in the beginning to kind of learn. You want to look into other people's parties. You want to get ideas. But just because you're getting ideas and you're looking, it doesn't mean you're taking. It's not going to be you. They've got to look like you. They've got to sound like you. And if you are afraid to go Facebook Live, you got to just get over yourselves, because people love Facebook Live. They love to see you. They love to get to know you. And if that thought is freaking you out, then start with mini videos. Just literally get something. And you don't have to feel like I can't do a video until I get a fancy schmancy like phone stand that Becky has. No, I set up ghetto phone stands in my kitchen all the time, in drinking glasses on top of a can of chickpeas, leaning into my phone, onto my cutting board. I literally had it propped up against the banana once. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, do not let the technology stop you. You want definitely to just make sure that what is in your view is what you want to show. So that means you got to crap the shit out of all four corners of your viewfinder, because you know why? I'm looking at that. I'm not looking at the pretty pizza that you just made in the cast iron skillet. I'm not looking at the air fryer. I'm looking at the garbage pail that's on the floor next to you, or the cluttered mess, or the junk and the crap all around you. I'm telling you, that's what I'm looking at. So if I'm looking at it, the people that you're trying to sell something to are looking at it too. Why give them the distraction? If you're there to sell them the pizza stone, or to show them the can opener, to show them the pineapple wedger, you want that to be the only thing in your counter. My daughter would used to come home from work and like my kitchen was like a bomb hit, except for that one spot where I had my camera. She's like, "Oh, Mom, let me guess. You just did a video." I'm like, "How did you know?" Because the rest of the kitchen looks like a tornado went off, because I had to move all the stuff out of the way, because I don't want that to be what people see. I'm really focused as to what I'm showing. So you could do that through Facebook Live. You could do that through regular videos. You could do that through still photography. And Becky knows I know how to take a good picture. But the reason I know how to take a good picture is because I crap out all the shit that's all around. That's it. That good lighting and good angles will give you a good picture. Try it. Seriously, like turn see during the time of day, natural lighting is always best. I get a lot of good pictures underneath my stove where I have that light that shines right down on my food. Try different angles. It's going to make a world of difference. And seriously, look at all four corners. Like right now I'm in four corners. You have no idea if the rest of my office looks like a tornado hit, because you just see a nice clean background, okay? The rest is okay, but my point is that you don't know what's over here, okay? That's gonna be the same thing when you carry it into your virtual parties. So that's what I did. So actually the best thing that happened to me was getting thrown in Facebook jail, because it made me stop borrowing other people's materials, and it made me really take ownership of my business and ownership of my template and showcase what I really wanted to showcase. Now here's the thing. It doesn't even matter what you post, as long as you are completely behind it. Like I would be in those past parties like following a recipe. Like the whole day would be like one recipe. Start with one picture, then start with one video, then start with another picture. Like by the end of the day, you forgot what you were even making. So like I don't do posts like that. And I'm going to share my screen if I know how. Becky may need to hold my hand, but I actually opened up a couple of windows where I'm going to show you what my typical posts look like. And I don't know if it's working or not, but I sold $36,800 last month doing these. Okay, so try it.
Try it. Ready for you to screen share whenever you're ready.
Okay,
sounds
yes,
like it's working.
I see the button down there that says share screen, so I'm gonna make you proud. Okay, I'm gonna make you proud, Becky. Okay, so here's another thing. When I got thrown into Facebook jail, I had shows coming up. I think I had like 8 or 10 shows coming up. And I said, home office, what am I going to do? I can't manually post into all these groups. And someone came up to me and said, why don't you do block parties? So that is what I'm going to show you. Who here does a block party? Anybody? Nobody. Okay. So now all I do since I've been thrown into Facebook jail is a block party. And all that essentially is one giant outline, but you have all your hosts thrown into that outline. And I'm going to show you what my introductory post looks like. And I've done 25 blocks with 4 or 5 hosts each. So I've done at least 100 parties since March. And I've only had 2 mistakes happen where where a customer shows somebody else's link. So seriously, it's really not hard at all. And people say to me, well, how do you make the connections? You know, like you hear about people like batch host coaching. I don't. So like I have everybody in a block, but then I do individual host coaching, and that's where I build my relationships. So what I tell one host to do, then I just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It takes me 2 seconds, but I have that one-on-one relationship. And another thing that I do is I utilize the video chat feature through Private Messenger. Do you guys use that? So I like to get my host on there at least once. I tell her, listen, you know what, let's video chat. And like half the times they don't even know what that is. And they're like, I'm afraid to pick it up. So I got to send them a message. Pick up the thing that's ringing. Oh, and so it's so nice so we can talk, because you know what, the way you speak is so different from the way you text, and people really have to feel you. And you could pretty much know if you get a host one-on-one on that video chat, if she's invested in this party or not. Because here's the other thing, the host is going to make or break the party. You can have the best, the most amazing, the most beautiful pictures and posts that are spot on. If your host is not in it, your party is going to tank. Okay, so it's going to be no matter what. So it doesn't matter what style you have. And I know there's a million different types of parties that you guys could do. You could do Facebook parties, squee parties, hula hoop parties, jump rope parties. I mean, whatever. Like all those weird parties are out there. Like I've heard them all. It doesn't matter. If you're on board with it, with your host, your party is going to be a success. I mean, obviously, sometimes her friends are just not going to buy, but it's not going to be because you didn't do your job or she didn't do her own job. So I want you to realize that you have to find the party style that you like. Okay, so I was realizing that I did not like the party style from before because I wasn't into it, because it wasn't my words. Does that make sense? Like you have to be behind something. And like and I look back, it's like it's all about branding. Like, what am I good at? I do an amazing cooking party. I needed that to transfer to the virtual world. And the way I transfer it, me personally, because this is what I do, is I do videos and I do photography. And I'm like a master storyteller. That's what people describe me as. So when I do like a video, or even when I post on my personal timeline, I don't just give you one picture. I give you every single picture that leads up to the final recipe. So that way you see the whole picture. You see the whole story. So I needed that to transfer over to the virtual world so that people could really know who I am. And then in the middle of all that, we can just play stupid games. Like everybody likes the memes, you know, like tell me what kind of cook you are, you know, what's on top of your refrigerator, and like all those like leprechaun things and all that nonsense. I throw those in here and there because they like it, but I'm also very sensitive to the crisis. So there's also like spiritual things in there and motivational things. I want people that come into my virtual party platform to feel like it's a positive group, that they're going to walk away with great tips, great recipes. My hashtag that I've been using since the crisis started is hashtag use what you have. So anytime I make a recipe, I make that hashtag. And you guys know the purpose of a hashtag, right? It's so it makes it very easily searchable. So if you're looking to see, well, what did I make? All you have to do is type in your search profile, hashtag use what you have, and anything that I posted with that hashtag pops up. Do you guys all realize that's the whole purpose of a hashtag? is to make something searchable. So that is what you want to start doing. So that way, you know what, if I'm looking for a recipe, I just hashtag that and it's going to come up in that whole thing and I just flip through it till I find it. Does that make sense? Because you got to work a little smarter and wiser. Okay, so let me see if I can screen share. Here we go.
Lord, here we go.
All right, okay. What do I do? It says screen.
Are you on your phone, Polito?
No, I'm on my laptop.
Bottom.
Just say yes.
It says screen, whiteboard, iPhone, Zoom,
Screen.
share.
Screen. Share.
There
There.
you go. Woo!
Stop it. This is my computer screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how do I get rid of all that shit?
Up at the top, click
Uh-huh.
whichever tab you want to come on.
Yeah, I want to get rid of that whole thing up there though.
Move it
Top.
down.
Top left corner, you have your
Uh-huh.
minimize and maximize buttons.
All right, so there's that. No, I don't want that. Guys, this may take a while. Okay.
There you go.
I had all my windows open. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's
they're
see.
at the top there.
All
Yeah,
right,
they're
hold
up there.
on. Let's get rid of all that. I had a whole bunch of tabs open.
They're still up there.
Yeah,
We
they're
can
up
see
there.
them.
They're open.
All right. Okay. So here, let's see. Okay. All right. I don't want that one. I want to get rid of that so I can see what's behind that. How do I get rid of that?
The top right, do the minimize.
No, your screen. I want to get rid of that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want behind where it says that. Becky, get over here.
If only I could.
If I minimize it, minimizes all of it.
Then just X out of that one. That
Yeah,
one
just
window.
click your X in the, like where your little,
Ah, shit. I had them all set up so that they could just pop up. Okay, here's an example of a post. So I was talking about the wood salad bowl. So I use a combination of my own photography, we'll open up, and marketing imagery. So that's my picture. So like I'm very picky with my pictures. I will take a bunch of pictures till I find the one I want. But then, why is my computer so slow? Of course. So there's obviously marketing imagery. There's my picture. Those are my tools that I use to make it, my salad spinner. So then what I'll do is I will intermingle my own pictures with the company's stock photo so that they could see exactly every step I needed to make that recipe. So what I do is I go into the app and I screenshot it. And so I make sure that I always have the item number and the name of the product on the bottom. You guys see that? So that way people know exactly what it is. So I don't have to make that an additional explanation. People can see exactly what I'm using just from that screenshot. I don't put the price though, because people are gonna wanna know what the price is. So I only put the name and the item number. Does that make sense?
super smart.
Okay, so that's one. Okay, I may as well just jump to this because it's here. I do my parties Monday through Friday. So the last time that I post is going to be on Friday night. And then on Saturday, I do the spoon posts. Do you guys do the spoon posts?
I've done it many times. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so these were shared with me. So I literally will go in and I will tag every biatch that did not place an order. Okay, I will go into the list and I'll put hi everyone, but I'm going to show you what my top post looks like. And so here, hi everyone, reminder, if Lisa invited you to the party, please use this direct link. She is, and I always beef it up a little bit. So I put she's $125 in orders from the next rewards level, which we know that can't possibly be because our rewards go up by 100, but nobody knows, right? So, and I tag everybody in there, okay? So, and that brings in a lot of orders Saturday and Sunday. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I do reminder posts that this party has been extended. But let me go up to show you what my announcement post looks like. Okay, so here we go. This is what my pinned announcement post is, okay? And so it basically says it's an online cooking party, Pampered Chef block party. Important details, block party has 5 fabulous hosts. Make sure when it's time to order that you order from the host that invited you. If you were not invited by one of the ladies, reach out and find out who you should order from. There's all their links. I put the party dates. I'm on direct ship, so I recommend that people don't order until the end so that they don't have to pay shipping twice. And many times I end up people do want to pay order again. And so what I do as a courtesy is I will then pay that second shipping. When they reach out to me, they're like, oh, can you add the can opener to my order? And I'll say, oh, it's too late. But I said, you know what, as long as I cleared the shipping, which pretty much I always do, I pay for that extra shipping because you know what? It makes good rapport with the host. It makes good rapport with the guests, and they will remember that. And so that is my way of giving a gift in the party. So I pay the second shipping. And when I find out that there's like an essential worker in there, like someone that works in a hospital, I also pull that person aside through private messenger and I say, listen, thank you so much for the job that you're doing. I could not do what you do. I'd love to add a gift to your order. Can you send me your order? And I will process that order separately on the side. So that's my gifts that I'm giving throughout the party. So I purposely, like, I pick and choose who I want to give it to, and it's been to essential workers during this time of crisis.
You're so awesome.
No, stop it. Okay, so anyway, I also put in here about the shipping. So expect 7 to 8, it's like right there. And now when people go to order, it's obviously right there. Expect 7 to 8 weeks of delivery time due to staff shortages and our distribution center mandated by law. Thank you for your patience. And there's my phone number. So like that is like right there as the pinned announcement post. People still ask me, where is the ordering links? I mean, you could say it right there, but they will still ask you. I also put it up behind. Wait a second. There it is. So there's the pinned announcement. Here is my cover, which I grabbed it from somebody. I don't know. Maybe Becky made it. I don't have no idea who made it. I found it in one of the groups. But when you click on there, because it says click to shop, if anybody did want to click that, I also put it in the description of the picture that comes up. Okay, so the same thing is like all right there. So if they did want to click that, then you could do that as well. And then I also put it over to the side where it says group descriptions. If you go down, it's down there. It's down here somewhere on a laptop when it says party group details or something. So I put all that information 3 times. And then when I do my welcome post, I also include that as well when I have like a welcome post. These are just my last posts. I want to see another good one that I wanted to show you. Where is it? I want that to go away, Becky. That's that one. Let's see what this one is. No, I don't want that one. I want behind there. How do I get it? Go away.
You have to click your X.
I don't have an X up there.
You mean behind the Zoom?
It's under the
Zoom bar. That Zoom bar you can grab and move somewhere else on your
I can move this whole bar somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop it. Shut up, you people. Why didn't you tell me that before?
I tried. You weren't listening.
I get very confused. Okay, so this is also what I do. Whenever I get an order from someone, I shoot them over like a thank you text immediately that talks about the delays and thank you for ordering and all that jazz. But then I wait till Saturday and I go into every single order and I pull the most expensive thing that they ordered as long as it's not out of stock. And I'll just do like a general post, like thank you for your order on Trisha's party. And again, when you open up the pictures, you're going to see that it's not just a picture, it's also the item number and the name of the product. And that brings new products in without even having to talk about it, because people may not even realize, oh, that looks interesting. So people that want to take the chance to look through it, again, if it ever opens up, like there it is. But always make sure that you check your stop sell list and don't throw a product that's in there, because that's the one that people are going to want. Okay.
Kiss of death.
What?
It's the kiss of death.
Oh, it's the kiss of death. Yes. Okay, let me see what this one was. Let me see why I showed you this one. See, my computer's like a dinosaur like me, okay? No, I don't want to show you.
Girl, you need to invest with that $36,000 in sales.
Yeah, I know. Now I do. Now I do. I don't know. I wanted to show you another one that was really good. And I said, oh, this is a really good one to show you. Oh, I wanted to show you the pineapple one. Hold on. Let me see. Let me show you 1 second. And I do too many posts. Becky, how many posts do you do a day?
No more than 9.
Oh, I do more than that. I like this one. Who wants to be the superhero today? Help your host earn reward.
Oh, I like that too.
So yeah, I grabbed that from somebody.
She didn't make it.
I swapped the word. I actually made that one. I put the words on that one. Are you proud of me?
I am so proud of you, Polito.
We'll wait for Becky to make us one.
Yeah. So this is a story that it was on the director page about someone who whose life was changed. Yeah. You saw this one, right? I put this in all my parties now because it's just looking at those boots is such a powerful story. So I throw that in there as well. I did a Father's Day one with my dad. I got to look for the pineapple one because I think it's really good, but I want to show you. Oh, and then I always do a welcome video and then I do a thank you video as well. And they're only about a minute long. That's 1 minute and 38 seconds. So in the beginning, it's thanking them for being a part of the party. And at the end, again, it's thanking them for being a part of the party. And it's time to open up your wallets and shop and delays it because of COVID and all of that. I like this one too. What? You didn't have it placed your Pampered Chef order yet? That one's cute. Hold on, I'm gonna find the you're just scrolling through my party, all pictures that I picked up from all of you people. So maybe if you see some of yours in here, I made this one, Becky. I made that one.
I'm so proud of you.
Make one.
Like a proud photography mom.
Yeah, I'm
proud Canva mama.
Yeah, I don't know where I found this one, but I think this one is just hilarious. So this is my last one on a Friday night. Okay, everyone, I've shown you a lot this week. Hope you've enjoyed my virtual party. The time has now come to browse and shop. Make sure you look at the pinned post, select the host, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I just think that picture is just hysterical.
That is cute.
Right? It just catches my eye. You know,
so how many posts are you doing a day, Laura?
Oh, like 15, 20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's another thank you. I know, but you know what? I told home office.
It works.
It's working.
Yeah, you know what home office said? Don't change a thing. That's what they told me. Oh, here it is. Here's the one that I think is really pretty. So here is where like you could get a lot of bang for your buck with one post. Because if you want to do just one post, like here's a ton of information of who loves fresh pineapple, who has family members that love it too, but would never cut it open if it's sitting on the counter. So I talk a little bit about the pineapple. I get that right from the copy and paste on the app, but then I will throw in like the products, which like this is one of my favorite pictures that I've taken at someone's party.
It's so pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Mm-hmm.
The lighting was perfect. I just love that picture. And but then I will go into the pineapple wedger, and like somebody gave me that little cutting board, so I use it almost like brands my pictures because it really shows authenticity. But again, like there's probably a lot of shit all around that. Like there's probably like a lot of junk here and a lot of junk there, but like I know what I was focusing in on, and that's all I wanted to show. I wanted to show my pineapple, the cutting mats, the cutting board, the apple wedger, the pineapple wedger. So I throw in all the different things, the infusion water bottle, how you could use the core to infuse your water. You want to also, show the close-ups of the pineapple. And then I make frozen fruit bars with the Quixicle maker, which is still in stock. So throw that in there. There's my water bottle with my nails, which I don't have nails right now. I'm mourning. So, and then I go in and I grab the pictures off the app so people could see the item number. Does that make sense? Right? So there's that, there's the Quixicle maker. Then there's also the kernel cutter, because you could talk about shaving the flesh of the pineapple with the kernel cutter, giving different uses. Because Becky said to me, do you cross sell? I'm like, yeah, through my posts. I show everything. And like, what does this have to do with the pineapple? Well, if you watch my little video, which is now next, my personal video, which is 3 minutes long, I go through the whole thing of what I just showed. You guys get that? And that's one post. So if you guys really want to shrink your post down and just do a couple a day, there's an example of like giving all the information that you could possibly give to someone about one product, but still mingling in other smaller secondary products. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that's it for screen sharing. Let me go back to you guys. So how do I stop this? Stop.
I got you.
Okay, you got me. Okay, I'm good. I'm back. I got through it. Yay!
We rescued her.
My heart beats when I have to do computer crap. I'm telling you.
Was that your first time to screen share?
No, it was like my third.
Oh, wow. You did good.
How about that? See? I think I showed you everything. Seriously, like I have notes of I kind of hit upon like a little bit of all of that. Was that helpful?
Absolutely.
So,
and you gave us a good laugh too, which I think we all need that from time to time.
Yeah, I'm good for that. And I stuck to the half hour too. So I was really like careful about that. So do you guys have any questions?
Who has questions? I'm sure there's got to be questions.
Carla.
Go for it, Carla.
I was wondering how you time your post. If you're doing like 20 posts a day so that everybody's notifications aren't just like blowing up their phone all day.
Oh, they probably are. I've never gotten a complaint though, so I don't know.
Okay.
I do. I start at 6:30 in the morning and I go till 8 o'clock at night. And I do like a couple in the morning. I do more in lunchtime and I do more in the evening. So like I do cluster them so that way it's not so crazy. Like I do know that part, but I still throw like different ones in. And if in the middle of the day, if I'm making something, I will put that video on my timeline and I'll share it right into the party.
Okay. Thanks.
I don't know. I haven't gotten a complaint, so I guess when people yell at me, then I'll stop. But so far, so good.
Do you use the same content for each party? Same videos, same photos, things like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I literally like every night, because you can't save a template when you do Facebook Scheduler. I'm a I'm paying for Post My Party, so I do want to go back to it, but like it's so complicated. I got an old computer to put everything on the computer and put in my templates. I mean, I know you could do it on the phone, but I need Becky to sit on my lap and show me. So every night, like at 10 o'clock at night, my pajamas are on. Watching like the news, or I have like HGTV on, and I just sit and I just copy and paste from yesterday to today, like from yesterday's, the old block to the new block. But I'm only doing block parties. And so what I do is I tell my host, say, listen, I'm putting you into a block party format because Facebook likes live interactive groups. It's very good for the algorithms. It beefs up the visibility on your timelines. What I love about it is because if a group is quiet, there's nothing more boring than a quiet group. It's okay because it's being beefed up by the others in the other groups. Becky, can you talk a little bit about Facebook algorithms and like what I just said?
Yeah, she knows I'm a nerd. That's why she's asking me to talk about it. So if you guys think about each group that you have, whether it's your personal timeline, it's your VIP group that you have, it's your business page, it's the groups you're creating, each one of those has a very unique, what I like to refer to as a heartbeat. And so if you think about it as a heartbeat, and you think about it, you know, if somebody's laying in a hospital, God forbid, with a flat line, right, you know what's happening, that person's dying, right? And that's the same thing with your groups or everything that you have, is that your group starts out with a really, really high heartbeat when you create them. The longer you go without activity in that group, the more flat line you create. So a lot of people, this is what I tell people to watch, is that if you're creating party groups on, like, let's say Saturday, and you're not starting the party until the next week, like middle of the week, you've lost a lot of your activity with the algorithm there, okay? So you really want to be aware of, like, you know, creating the group and then getting that activity started right away. So the more active that group is, the stronger of a heartbeat it's going to have, AKA an algorithm. But when you don't have people participating, that algorithm starts to go flatline, okay? And what we mean by participating, guys, is not people liking, okay? Not people loving. It's actually commenting. That's what Facebook wants. Mm-hmm. Facebook wants you to create content that enlists a reaction from people. So not just a like or a heart, but actually them commenting. And then the best thing that you can do for that group is, once they've commented, continue it with you commenting to them by asking a question, not just by making a statement. You want to ask questions so that, again, you're going back and forth with them. That, again, encourages the heartbeat or the algorithm in the group.
Yeah.
That makes
so
sense?
I start my groups on a Friday, and I start like those like welcome posts and welcome like activities Friday night, all into Saturday, all into Sunday. And just fun stuff, like really just fun stuff. Just hey, while we're waiting for people to come in, let's have some fun. Let's talk about ice cream or whatever. And I want people to realize that it's not a dead group, that it's something that's there that they need to tune back into. And I multiply, many times I ask them to invite their own friends to it. And so like, I will see, like when I do my spoon post at the end, that so-and-so was invited by so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, that's not one of my hosts, but it's one of my guests, because my guest then did a bunch of inviting as well.
Exactly.
So it really, really works.
Yeah. So I think.
How do you market that? I mean, do you market it, or do you just tell them?
Says invited friends constantly, like, hey, you know, are you having fun? And maybe your friends want some fun. And are you enjoying these recipes? Maybe your friends would too. Please feel free to invite them. The more the merrier. Like,
no, I mean, how do you market the block parties that? I mean, do you just not even give them a choice? You just tell them all they're going into a block?
Exactly. I don't even give them a choice. I tell them, this is what we're going to do. I say, do you want a successful party? Who's going to say no? Do you want a party that's visible and that is engaging and fun? Who's going to say no? If you promote it as something amazing and fun, and it's like, you know, being one step ahead of Facebook, and this is what Facebook likes to see, these big active parties, then, you know, who's going to say no? Everybody wants a good party.
Yeah. I think you have to find out what works for you, you know, because it works really well for Laura. I know some other people may have tried it and not had the same experience, or just preferred something different. And so I think that what I love about Pampered Chef is that we have tons of ways to do parties, right? And you're going to find one style that works really, really well for you, your life, and your business. So especially going in the summer, I think I like this idea because, you know, think about it. If you guys are running 4 parties a week, which is what we're encouraging all of you guys to do, if you're doing 4 individual parties, you're posting into 4 individual parties every single day, right? A lot of us are using Facebook Scheduler. Some of you guys might be using SendShare or Post My Party, but it's still a lot more work than it is to do 4 hosts in one group, and you're only posting into that group one time. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I think that you know, if you try block parties, right, you can't just try them for 1 week and say, no, I don't like them. Okay.
Right.
You have to try them, I would say, at least for 30 days to really get an idea whether they work for you or they don't work for you. But I think what's really exciting and kind of important is that, you know, going through the summer, I mean, wouldn't you rather, like, let me run 4 parties but only post once a day, you know, or
Yeah.
you know, schedule one. So I think that, you know, you have to see what's going to work best for you. Me personally, I'm not a block party girl. I like the personal interaction, but, you know, again, we like to offer lots of ideas to you guys because it's your business and you get to decide what your business looks like.
Let me tell you how much personal interaction I get, though, because when I have that conversation in the actual block party with someone, I say to them, oh, check your messages. I start a whole conversation with these people through private message.
Yeah.
So that is when I talk to them, hey, are you new to Pampered Chef? Are you enjoying the party? I'd love some feedback. I'm new to virtual parties. You know, where do you live? How do you know the host? So I am engaging now more than I ever have, and I'm doing it through block parties. I'm building relationships. I'm recruiting hosts. I'm recruiting people in the party. It's really just like putting yourself into them. And just because you have everybody here, that doesn't mean that you're not building all these relationships.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's
you got to try it. If you don't like them, you could just stop. And again, there's no wrong way, no right way. There really isn't. It's just going to be your way. That's just it. You cannot copy and paste. You cannot take people's materials. You cannot take people's outlines. You can take them as ideas, but you have to go in and change them up. You have to.
Yeah, it's very much about making a unique experience, not just for yourself, but also for those customers and guests at the parties. And the more, you know, the more you can really be the face of your party versus it just being home office stock pictures. Like I do the same thing. Like I have created an outline for my team, like I always do. But then I have a separate outline. I take that outline and I personalize it to myself. There's pictures of me and my family, my kitchen, my little girl. Everybody likes my kitchen because people in Pampered Chef use my kitchen. Right, Laura Polito?
Not me.
I know, not you.
Okay.
But remember you sending me a message, I've seen your kitchen on somebody's personal wall. Anyway, so, you know, that's where that's that difference, I think, though, between connecting, like really connecting with someone and not, you know, it just, like when they can literally feel like they're in my kitchen with me and my family, it's just a different feeling, you know, in my parties. Yeah. What other questions? Everybody's so quiet in the world. Okay, so we have a question in the chat box. So is there no real training on exactly how to do a block party? This all seems more exciting, but I am lost on it. That's from Christy Winchett.
So for my team, who they don't know a lot about block parties just because I personally don't do them. I did them in the fall and they did not work for me. I didn't have the success for recruiting and or booking more parties. So I did it for 2 months. I'm a big believer of doing everything for at least a few months to try it. And so I switched back to just individual parties, which is where we've been having our success. So kind of like Laura shared, if you're having problems with regular or you want to try something new, by all means, give it a try.
Absolutely.
For those of you on both of our teams, we can help you with knowing kind of what to do. Essentially, Chrissy, it's the same party. It's just one big, instead of 4 individual parties, you have one big party with all the groups. So think about, or with all the guests. So think about, you know, your 4 parties that you have 30 or 40 guests in, they're all in one group instead of 4 different groups.
Right, and I'm not posting links throughout the party. I'm directing people to that pinned announcement post. And then I'm just doing that link that one time at the end when I'm doing that happy spoon post that says, hey, if you are part of Amanda's party, use this link. If you're part of Becky's party, use this link. Otherwise, there's no links throughout the party at all.
And just like Laura shared and just like Becky shared, it's what works for you. It's what works. That's why we like to do these other trainings where we're inviting people to talk to you, because you all hear from Becky and I quite often, but you've never heard from Laura. So now you're hearing hers and you're thinking, okay, maybe I want to try that. Then, you know, we can help you with that. It just really depends on you and how you're going to host coach, because you're still host coaching, you're still building the relationships, which is what we are teaching you all to do in your individual parties. It's just a different delivery method. What works
And
for
for
you
the
and what you
summertime,
like.
like Becky said, now it makes your job easier.
Yeah.
It does.
So Christy, your other question, she says, so there's no real training on exactly how to do a block party. It's, so this is something that really came from a consultant in the field, like many styles of our shows do. They come from us in the field that are doing the shows. And then basically home office then kind of like evaluates and sees where the sales are coming from and digs in with the consultants. And then eventually they will, possibly put some training together for that. But, really, no, there's no official block party training, so to speak, like on Dash or anything like that. But I know if you have questions about it, Amanda would be more than happy to help you with that. And you talking about you had 6 duds last week. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because guys, I want to reassure you guys of something that, okay, a lot of people don't really know how Facebook works in the background. And there's a lot of moving parts and pieces to it right now that a lot of people don't understand of stuff that's happening or not happening, right? So Facebook, think about it, there's millions and millions of users of Facebook, right? And in order to support a platform that big, they have to have like endless amounts of servers. There's actually 10 or 12 servers with Facebook that carry all of our information. So Laura could be in server 1, I could be in server 2, Amanda could be in server 3, Carla could be in server number 4. When Facebook is updating Facebook as a whole, okay, they run the update. It starts in server 1, okay, then it works its way through. It goes to server 2, then it works its way through. It goes to server 3, runs its way through. So sometimes what happens is you get caught in a glitch that's happening when they're running an update, okay, and it takes a little bit of time to work its way out. So like right now, I've been experiencing the same thing. This weekend and the past weekend, I've had really lackluster parties as far as the engagement goes. Now that I've worked my butt off to get them to, sales in those parties, where Amanda has not had that issue, but I've been talking with a lot of people. Either they've had great parties or they've been having the same issue that I've been having. And it's because of just that. So you think about it, it's going to take some time. Last year, a prime example was a lot of consultants started going to Facebook jail, right? Some of us were caught up in that for a while until it worked its way out of the system. And then some people never went to Facebook jail, which are high-performing consultants doing tons of shows, right? So it really depends where you're falling in those servers. The other thing you guys have to think about is how many of you guys are on new Facebook versus classic Facebook? Okay. So this is also playing a really big role in all of the glitches and the engagement on Facebook right now, because not only are they running updates through the system, but they're also trying to support essentially 2 platforms of Facebook, okay? You have your new, you have your classic. So when they're trying to switch everybody from classic over to new, right? You guys with me here? It's a lot of tech stuff. But that requires, again, there's a lot of stuff happening in the background that's going to take its, work its way out through time. But it also is trying to get all of those people from one system onto another system. Because it's not the same system. They're literally moving you from one platform to another, okay? Then throw in the ability that they can toggle back and forth between new and old, okay? So you're constantly, there's some consultants that are going back and forth between the new Facebook and classic Facebook. So they are starting to permanently place people onto new Facebook. So those of you guys that have had the ability to toggle back and forth, that is being taken away as of like the end of last week. They've started making people permanently switch to the new Facebook platform. So that's where you guys might be seeing some of those like lackluster parties with the engagement. But you guys, there's tons of ways to work around that, okay? Don't let low engagement in your parties like let you throw in the towel over anything, okay? Because that's where us directors come in, that we can do show-based coaching with you guys and really help you to see what are some other ways that we can help, boost those parties up. There's lots of ways to do it. There's your technical answer. You're welcome. And now everybody's like,
all right. Anything else last minute before we let Laura go?
Oh, Polito, I miss you.
You guys, my friends.
No. All right. Who else? Nobody else has questions? All right, my friends. Well, I'm going to stop.